trying to integrate into their society. It doesn't seem to be going too well. Hey everyone, and welcome back to more The Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword. Previously on our journey, we made our way into this underwater area after talking to a Kikui to meet the water dragon, as she will guide us to the direction of the first sacred flame, only to find out that she in fact will, but only after we get some water for her ancient basin she's in, because apparently Girahim came by, attacked her, and took away some of her power or something, so essentially we have another thing to go grab before we can actually progress, and this time that's exactly what we'll be doing. Starting off, we're going to go back here. As she said, this is like another quick way to get around. It's like a bit of an exit. If we come over here to this spot and start strumming, we heard earlier that sometimes if you do this near a bunch of goddess butterflies, boing, yep, you'll get a Chica gossip stone to appear. They say dryness and blah 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 upon a certain walls will heal your wounds. So they'll give you tips, and as I mentioned, they'll give you items, so you might as well just grab that. There is an area up there, as you can see. There's an area over there. Not much we can do right now. This is more so just to help us save time. You go over to this to make sure you get back here a little bit easier. And come here. I want you. I want you. I want you. So we actually have a bit to do. One of the things that Fee said at the... Well, that guy just died. One of the things Fee said at the end of last episode, as you may recall, is that we actually need a... empty bottle to hold the water, and we have bottles on us but no empty ones, so we're gonna need to make sure we change that. Master, I have information to report. By my estimates, you are currently situated in the southwest area of Farron Woods. Please confirm your location with your map. Yep, so this is actually a bit of a shortcut, as you can tell by the wood log here, so you can get back here way faster without having to worry about it, which is nice. Thank goodness they thought about this, because otherwise it'd be really annoying. Moblin there, don't really feel like fighting him. Instead, I want to head towards this direction. Let's make sure we're heading the right way. The trees gave me a second to pause. I want to head to the sealed grounds actually first, because we're going to head over there for a few reasons. But one of them is because there's a bird statue over there. And there's one here, but I'm going to check that one over here because it helps me check something else. Because we're actually going to go to the sky this episode before we do anything else to grab our empty bottle and swap it out with one of our full ones. Because I really don't want to waste a potion or a fairy just to get an empty bottle, and yeah. Oops. So we head back over here. You said you were working on some stuff. Have you made any progress with that? No. Gotcha. Okay, well. So that was one of the things I want to check. So I didn't remember when he actually starts doing the next part or whatever. So I was curious about that. So I guess instead I'm going to cut until we are in the sky. So I'll see you guys up in the sky. See you there in a moment. And once again, you could, if you want to, go around and collect a bunch of goddess cubes, since we, now are able to, since we found a bunch of, or not goddess cubes, collect the goddess chests. But I'm going to wait until after we complete the dungeon, like always, just for the sake of pacing. I find it a little bit easier that way. So we're going to head over to the bazaar. I don't know why I was moving so slow there, but okay. And there's a few things I want to do, actually, besides just get the empty bottle, but that is the main reason I came back up here. But there are other reasons. Otherwise, I would have probably just emptied the ferry, because, I mean, you were probably going to find more of those and save some time. But there's something else I want to do while I was up here anyway, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. So first things first, I'm going to deposit something. I don't like the sounds you make. We're going to put it in the ferry. Revitalizing potion means something that automatically pops is nice, and it heals, so I think I'd rather just have that. In comparison, there's the cursed metal from earlier. I am going to actually sort this out really quick, and that's more so because of my OCD above all else, so I apologize for that. I just wanted to look nice. Bye. Oh, that was kind of sweet. So I'm going to come over here and actually try to see if we can upgrade some stuff, because we actually got some dusk relics, if you recall. So for example, we can actually upgrade this, which I believe we're going to, because I don't really think we need to worry too much. Upgrades the slingshot to the scatter shot. An excellent slingshot able to scatter single seed over a wide area. So this will make aiming down sights a little bit easier. So we're going to upgrade our slingshot to that. I'll fast forward that. All done. Here you go. You upgraded to the mighty scatter shot. Your shots will now pepper a wide range. Holds the art to increase your shot power. So we have a good upgrade there. Yeah, I believe we have some other stuff. So yep, that's the only upgrade for that. We don't have the evil crystal there, unfortunately. Oh, we only need one ancient flower. Oh, Should I go grab that? No. We'll wait to grab that. That's not too far off. This is something I want to upgrade, because I knew we had the stuff for that, but how much do we need to upgrade this as well? Ooh, can we upgrade both these things? Okay, let's upgrade this first. Sacred Shield, normal better. A strengthened Sacred Shield with improved durability. Yes, please, we'll take that. Considering its durability is its main drawback, considering it can pretty much do everything else perfectly, upgrading that will make it a lot more usable. You upgrade to a Divine Shield. This Mystical Shield can repair itself over time. It's also more durable, which is nice. And now there is actually one more upgrade for it. Really? We can actually get this now? Oh my gosh. Okay, you know what? I'm actually not going to upgrade this right now. I kind of want to give it a little bit of time for this middle shield, even though there's no real reason not to. But that's actually really funny that I could upgrade it right now. Instead, we're going to upgrade the bomb bag, which I believe doesn't use any of the same components, so I actually really could just upgrade this straight up. But yeah, we're going to wait. Instead, we're just going to upgrade the bomb bag to its maximum, and we'll save the maximum Sacred Shield probably till our next time coming up here after we complete the dungeon. You upgraded to the large bomb bag. It can hold 15 extra bombs. Carry it with you, and you need extra firepower. Good, so we actually got a lot of stuff upgraded. Jeez, we're making really good progress on that. Let's see. Yep, so now we get the Sacred Shield. Yeah, its durability didn't go up by much, but considering what it does, it makes sense that it wouldn't be a super powerful upgrade, but yeah, a little sad. Isn't too much better, but hey, it's better all the same. Of course, now I'm going to cut ahead again until I make it down to where we were at earlier, that being the surface, to be exact. So I'll see you guys there in a moment. Whee! So now that we're back at the map, if you want me to help you save some time here, you're going to want to actually head to the Forest Temple, an area we haven't been to in a long time. This is where you're going to want to go if you just want to instantly start making progress and not waste your time. So this is to help you out in the long run. That sound you're hearing is that guy. We don't have to really bother with him. If we use the dowsing ability, you're actually going to see it's taking us towards the dungeon itself. That's right, it wants us to actually re-enter the dungeon. I think this is the first time we've re-entered a dungeon in this playthrough, which is kind of interesting, because you'd think once you're done with the dungeon, you're done with it. But nope, we actually want to re-enter here. My readings indicate the presence of sacred water within the temple. Unfortunately, it is not possible to use your dowsing ability here. Based on my calculations, I estimate the water is located in the deepest part of the temple complex. Because, of course, it is. I recommend using the X on your map as a guide when you're revisiting the deepest part of the area of the temple. I'm detecting a greater enemy presence in the vicinity than I previously observed. You'd be wise to proceed with caution. It's not just a rerun of the temple, it's a rerun now with more dangerous enemies. There are harder enemies now, and there are more enemies, making it just that much more of a screw you for coming back here, huh? This is actually a really cool concept that I really like, and I kind of hope more Zelda games will do it in the future, which is revisiting old dungeons in the progress of story, making them harder, and sometimes even having you redo parts of the dungeon. I think that's really cool. Go over here is more goddess butterflies, and if you want to start strumming your harp there, you'll actually notice something new here. And hello there.
Oh, you're that guy who we met in the volcano. Here to do some treasure hunting too?
Yeah, in my own way.
I called it. You got treasure hunter written all over your face. That big stone guy out there tip you off to loot too?
Stone guy?
No one's beating me to all the sweet loot piled up in this place.
Interesting. So, wait, I want to keep talking to you. So yeah, keep in mind when we first came here, these things we actually couldn't dig in because of the Elden region, and presumably the Magmas are here for some reason. Anyway, here we have a goddess wall, which are actually interesting things. If you are to raise a Skyward Strike next to them, which is something that you may be tipped off to, you'll be able to draw on it. That, what's it called? The, Gossip Stone earlier mentioned trying to draw a heart. Let's do that. Again, it represents my love for you guys. You actually will get a bunch of health. Those goddess walls have a lot of things that are really interesting about them, but I'm not really going to talk about them quite yet, mostly because I want to wait until it's a little bit more prevalent and I have more time to talk about it, but those are interesting. Yep, those are a few more enemies than last time, as you could probably tell if you remember. It's kind of crazy to come back here now with all of our progress we've made. You know, it's been a while. We've actually met Zelda. Now we have a different mission. We have all these new pieces of equipment and gear. Oh my god, that's the guy with the bow, and he just sniped me right in my foot. So we have more enemy presence, and we have new enemies altogether. First things first, we have this guy over here who is a freaking bowsman. I'm going to take this chance to show our new slingshot. As I said, if you hold down the ZR, it'll actually power it up, allowing you to shoot and do more damage. So as you can see there, it shot multiple, which will allow us to hit him out of the way there. And if we get up here, you'll actually see there is another locked door. They relocked the door from earlier, which was really nice of them, wasn't it? That they went through the effort to do that. Another spot to dig here. Interesting. Yep, so it's not just for like a cosmetic thing. They actually put those there so that when you make your second run back, it'll be easier for you to get certain pieces of equipment, which is nice.
Just fantastic. I work like a weasel just to swipe a key from that monster, then I have to go and lose it. I just can't remember which hole I hid it in. And what do I need a key for anyway? I could buy a trunk full of those things once I find the treasure I'm after.
Interesting. So it seems like maybe he knew something about the key. Do you have any ideas where he left it?
Hey, what do you want?
Key?
It's the darndest thing. I buried a key around here, but I can't recall where exactly I put it. Now, where could I have hidden that key? I guess I might not be in this room after all. You don't appear to have a map on you, do you, pal?
I do have a map, but he said not this room from what he thinks, so let's head over to the other room instead. In case you're curious, by the way, I think that the actual run through here, outside of the locked door, I don't think a ton changes in terms of like having to redo the dungeon, which is nice. In case you were concerned about having to redo the whole dungeon, you don't have to. It's just, it seems that way going back into it. Just get rid of this so we don't have to worry about it later. Another spot to dig here. Money, always nice, especially considering we just actually used a lot of money on the shield and upgrade and whatnot. Last time we were here, we actually flooded this room, if you recall, and we couldn't swim before we did that, so now we can, which is interesting. So now we can actually go down here and swim, which means we can actually go back down into this area from earlier. Oh, okay. I don't know how he didn't hit me there. But we can actually go through here, which is something we couldn't do earlier, because remember, once we were in the water earlier, we just kind of float to the surface. We couldn't swim, allowing us to explore whole new areas, which is cool. If we go back up here, you may recall this spot, which I actually made mention to. This is where you'll find the key. You got a small key. This key will open a locked door. Something we've seen time again, whatever the actual proper quote is for that. But either way, we'll need that going forward. So we found the key that he specifically hid. It is kind of interesting to see the Mogmas travel so far, but I guess, you know, they are treasure hunters. If they're looking for some treasure and supposedly some treasures in here, then hey, what's stopping them from looking? And as you can see, we have enemies that we were once seen as quote-unquote mini-bosses are now just everywhere here, which is something. Again, not like they're really that tough, but hey, you know, it's the thought that counts. I don't believe there's anything really of note here in terms of, like, art pieces or anything. I think if you missed it the first time, it will still be here, so you can come back and grab it now, which is nice. So if you missed that, you don't have to worry about being like, oh, I'm super far behind. Another thing that makes this so much nicer is if you open up those shortcuts like I kind of did in my playthrough and kind of said you should, it makes it so much easier the second run through. This is why a lot of the dungeons later on actually don't have those shortcuts, and you may wonder, okay, well, why is that? Why are those shortcuts not there? Like in the Elden dungeons, because you don't have to go back there in the game, but for here you do, and so they were conscious about that and tried to make it easier to actually get back here. Something else they do, as you can see, is they actually allow you to have some bombs here. They put some bombs in locations where, with the hook beetle, you can quite easily then get rid of some of these guys and make it over easier, because there's two bow people, or two bow bokoblins or whatever. Trust me, you are not going to get through there just by, like, trying to avoid the arrows by swaying back and forth. It just ain't going to happen. So we go through this dungeon a lot quicker this time, which is nice, thanks to those shortcuts.
Oh, sheesh, I dig some serious miles to get my paws and treasure, and I found squat. Talk about bad luck. Thanks some no-good thief for me to the good. Nothing here but water now. Oh, and the stinking world will come all this way for water. Nobody, that's who. I'm cutting my losses and heading home. See ya.
So it seems like that treasure that they were speaking of is in fact the water we're after, but of course, you know, the treasure of water doesn't sound that appealing unless you know, are dying of thirst or something. So, hopefully that's a good thing. I mean, it's all for ourselves, even though I imagine there's probably more than enough water for us here. But what do I know? With any luck, it won't lock on us this time? Of course, luck is never with us. A nice welcome back indeed. If you recall, Stalfos were the mini-boss that got us the beetle the first time we were in this dungeon, and now, well, as you can see, they upped the ante a little bit by bringing in 3 at once for you to fight. They are really expecting you at this point to have gotten a bit better at the combat, and trust me, at this point you probably have, as long as you've been trying to actually learn it. My recommendation is, since they all will gain up, since they all are the same speed, is to target one that has a good opening and attack and do like a spin attack or something so you can potentially hit multiple. This is your best bet of doing the most damage possible and potentially hitting more than one Stalfos at a time. Once you're down to 1 or 2, it is a much easier fight to begin with. Of course, something you can do, as you may have seen, is you could do the shield bash to counter them, but if you don't want to risk taking a hit, you can always just back off and wait for them to change their swing. It really is just super intimidating by looking at it, but in terms of a fight, as long as you're paying attention, it really isn't that hard of a encounter in my mind. They're really making us work for this water. They're making us sweat for something that'll help you sweat more. I was trying to make a witty thing about sweat, but that sounds gross, and I really didn't get to do it that well, so it's whatever. I detect sacred water nearby. There are no monsters or auras causing interference, so you can douse here. So apparently enemies actually are the ones who cause the interference, which is interesting. A bluebird here? Ooh, there is. I kind of want to catch them, considering we just actually are using a bunch of bird feathers, and while I know that they're not the most valuable thing in the world now, thanks to money and stuff, we might as well grab them if we're here, you know? We don't have to go away for it then if we absolutely need it. So let's just sneak our way over. Got him. Okay, at least want the bluebird feather, since that one's really valuable. Bunch of these goddess butterflies. Might as well catch it if we can. Once again, if you missed the goddess cube that was back there, now you can grab it if you need to, in case you missed it. So it's nice that you have that second chance. So right over where the fairy are at, that we saw the first time when I mentioned them, is actually where it's recommending we go to. So let's get our empty bottle and scoop right here. You got some sacred water. This pure water can heal the wounds of the water dragon. It has mystical properties that cannot be found in ordinary water. There is a 95% probability that the water here is identical to the water within the water dragon's basin. I suggest we take it back to her. Yep, and it thankfully kicks us out of the dungeon, so we don't have to work our way all the way back there, which is nice. Saves us a bit of time. So now we're going to make our way back to the water dragon's area, and if you want to, one of the things that I think kind of expedites this a little bit is if you go to the bird statue there and just go to the sky, and then just immediately drop back down and land closer. But I want to grab some things like beehives and stuff on the way, but I'm not going to make you sit through all this, so instead I'm going to cut ahead so you don't have to watch all that crap because it's going to be very boring. So I'll see you guys back at the water dragon's lair in a few minutes. I'll see you guys there. Ooh, golden skull, that's nice. So I actually am cutting back here, as you can see, before we made all the way back, because there's a new area we can go to we couldn't access earlier thanks to our bombs. We came back here, of course, earlier, and we got a heart piece thanks to our bombs as well, but if you recall, there's actually a rock pile up here as well, and I'm going to blow this up now, mostly so we don't have to worry about it later, but also because I want to show what's behind there right now. So let's climb up there really quick. Of course, the first time we were up here, it was to get a kiwi, or to find a kiwi that was hiding in these bushes here. So if we use a bomb on this wall here, we get a chest. And what's inside? Golden skull. And considering I found one on the way back, makes it a little bit less impressive, but hey, a rare treasure is a rare treasure all the same. Anyway, I'll cut to us being at the water dragon's lair. I'll see you there in a moment. Oh boy. And we're back into the water dragon's, is lair the right word? That sounds more mischievous. Residence? Den? We made it back to the water dragons, what I'm trying to say. Yes, just look at that color. There's no doubt this is the water I need. Quickly, boy, pour it into my basin. Looks more like we poured it on the ground, but whatever. Exquisite. I can feel its energy surging through me. Behold the full majesty of Farron, water dragon and guardian of these lands. I stand tall, healed, and whole once again. Human, you have done well to bring me the sacred water I asked for. I see now it is no coincidence that you completed the goddess's trial and obtained a water dragon's scale. In turn, I will grant you the favor you have asked of me, and lead you to the sacred flame of my land. Come. Definitely looks a lot more like a dragon now. Or at the very least, looks more imposing. Now, behold. Hmm. Go, the sacred flame you seek lies within this place. While the waterfall has barred entrance to this place for many years, monsters have still found a way in, and inside they flourish. Ha, but you are the goddess's chosen hero. Swatting a few monsters will be no trouble for you. Imagine you and I will cross paths again. Until then, do not lower your guard. Farewell, boy. And the entrance was here all along. I don't know if I should be surprised or disappointed that we didn't think to simply swim over here and check. I mean, it was behind a waterfall, so maybe that would be too much for us to get past. The waterfall is a lot of, well, pressure and power to it, so I'm guessing we couldn't have just gone through it with relative ease, but what do I know? To actually access it, since, of course, you know, the bridge is broken, why wouldn't it be? We'll need to do our favorite thing and do a spin dive out of the water.